family, what's up? It is Tuesday, which means it's Teaching Tuesday. My phone is like sitting on my bed, so I don't have to hold it. So, this is the angle y'all gonna get today. But anyway, today's topic is it's already in you, okay? So we are going to 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 34. But David said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep his father's sheep, and when a lion or a bear came and took a lamb out of the flock, I went out after it and struck it and delivered the lamb from its mouth. And when it arose against me, I caught it by its beard and struck and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, seeing as he has defied the armies of the living God." So listen, y'all already know the story of David and Goliath. You know, he shot a little slingshot, but bam, in the middle of the forehead, big old giant goes down. Okay, cool. But what God was showing me was that sometimes we see ourselves as those people saw David. Like, he was too young, he was not qualified, he was not strong enough to go out and kill this giant, when in fact it was already in him. Everything that he needed to fight this big old giant, God had already prepared him to do so. And I'll give you a real life example. So today I'm at this training for my job, and like, we had to do these different scenarios. I work with kids, so we had to do this scenario where this child was displaying all these behaviors. He was just, really having an explosive like attack. Not attack, but he was having, exploding attitudes and going off on the teachers and stuff like that. And so I'm sitting around these young ladies, which they're older. I'm probably one of the youngest people in the room. And, and they asking, "So what would you do to help this young man, or what would you do to help the parents deal with this behavior, blah, blah." And of course, every time I would speak, I would get shot down because, the people I'm around are a lot older than I am. And sometimes when we give our ideas and we think that we are not enough, or we think that we don't have what is required to be in a position, we constantly let ourselves not be heard, or we shoot our own selves down. So I, came up with the idea of having therapy because clearly he has a certain disorder, and I said the disorder, and they were like, "Nah, maybe he just needs to be included in the group," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay. So then we get to the next part of the activity where they tell us what's actually wrong with this child. And of course, this child has the exact disorder that I said. And I'm like, and God's looking at me like, "Yo, it's already in you. Don't count yourself inferior to other people just because you feel like you don't have the requirements, or you don't have the experience, or you don't have the time. You haven't done everything that these people have done, so now you feel inferior." No, God has called you for a certain purpose at a certain time, and He's already placed everything that you need in you. And the thing that holds us up is fear. If David would have got stuck on fear and listened to what all those other people had to say, where he was too young, or he wasn't ready, he was not as strong as everybody else, like his older brothers should have been the ones to go and fight, Goliath wouldn't have been slain. It's already in you. Everything that you need is already in you. Like, y'all, I know, last week I got, laid off from my last job. But just like David was set up for a time to display what God already placed in him, I know that God called me now to display what He placed in me. Trust your process, because everything that you need in order to do what God has called you to do, He's already placed it in you. And that is Teaching Tuesday, y'all. It's already in you. Don't count yourself out. Don't go into this corner like, "Man, God, I'm not ready. This is not where you have called me to be." No, you step out on faith, because it's already in you. I love y'all. And I'm trying to switch over to YouTube, so y'all need to just go to the YouTube channel, okay? I'm gonna leave the link on the video. Just go to the channel, okay? Check it out. Tell your friends and stuff, okay? Teaching Tuesdays, okay? You know, hashtag it, share, like, comment. I appreciate the love in the comments. I always try to respond back to everybody. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. And if you have suggestions to make Teaching Tuesdays better, I welcome those too. I'm very open, okay? Y'all have a good rest of your week.